A while back, I got some pushback on a comment in one of my posts that got me thinking about this whole idea of scarcity. As in, all the good men are taken. It was a male reader who pointed out in his comment that there are many educated, responsible, attractive men out there that are complaining about the same thing, the lack of available women. So how can it be that both sides are feeling the same, especially when the statistics show that in the US alone, nearly half of the population over age 18 are single, almost half, with the group being roughly split between male and female. It's somewhere around 50 million single adult men just in the US. So why do so many of us have so much trouble finding just one? Is it really that hard, or is it something else? It got me thinking back to when my husband and I were first dating years ago. We both had lots of single friends, and we thought it would be great to play a little matchmaker and see if we couldn't help some of them find love with each other just like we had found. After all, they were attractive, they were successful and single, and most, if not all, were tired of being solo. They were all going to the same types of places anyway, looking for the same thing, to meet someone who they might be interested in having a relationship with that might eventually lead to marriage. So I really thought it would be easy to match up my single girlfriends. After all, these were women who consistently complained about never finding any good men. Here I was. I had a guy with plenty of great bachelor friends. All of them were excellent choices. They were educated, they were smart, they were funny, good-looking, financially stable men. Getting them together should be pretty simple, right? Well, that's what I thought. But that was before I understood the phenomenon that I would begin to see happen over and over again with both the women and men that I began coaching. We thought it would be easy enough. We'd invite them all over for a group get-together so there wouldn't be any pressure. And then after they'd meet and hang out together for a while in this comfortable, safe group setting that we'd created, we always wanted to know what they thought. So surprisingly, when we asked them, the answer was pretty much the same from both sets of friends. He's just not my type. She's just not my type. They just didn't feel that initial attraction, those sparks, that wow factor. And this came from both groups. That was the irony. See, I realized that this was the single biggest factor that was keeping them all in the same situation as they'd always been, single. Digging deeper, we found that both groups had their long lists of must-haves, with the wow factor being at the top. And both groups were becoming more and more close-minded with a stricter must-have list all the time. See, what we soon realized is that our friends were holding out for this unrealistic fantasy-like chemistry that they couldn't even define, but they believed that they would just know it when they experienced it. They didn't realize that while being attracted to your partner is important, there are also so many other really important things that determine if you're going to be happy in a long-term relationship or not. Like how he treats you, how he cares about you, how you care about him. Fireworks and chemistry, they both fade over time, but treating each other with kindness and respect, caring about each other, sharing the same values and goals, those are the things that build a long-lasting love like you wouldn't believe. Instead of fading with time, this kind of true love just gets better and better, and attraction only grows from there. It's only the way we've been conditioned to think of romantic love that has us believing otherwise. So how do we find all these available men, or as my male reader pointed out, available women? It begins with taking a really good look at ourselves. Do we have the right things on our must-have list? Absolutely. We're beautiful, confident, radiant women who deserve nothing less than a man who's available to commit to us, someone who's available to be in a relationship in the first place, and someone who treats us with that same love and respect that we have for ourselves. But we also need to be realistic about what matters in the long term. How he treats you should be the number one thing that you're paying attention to. It needs to be. Sure, you need to be attracted to him, but before you decide to dismiss him simply because your chemistry indicator isn't off the charts the first time you meet him, you need to consider that someone may also be dismissing you in the same manner. And wouldn't you want more than this kind of surface dismissal? Wouldn't you want someone to give you a chance to get to know them and to find out more about who you are and what you have to offer? See, the truth is that there are some really, really great guys out there that are a bit nervous on the first date, and they might not be perfect conversationalists, and there might be some uncomfortable silences in the conversation simply because they're not the smooth-talking players that we're so used to. Or maybe they don't have movie star looks, or maybe they're carrying around a few extra pounds that they're working on. But once you get to know him, things will get better and better. Once he feels comfortable telling you about, say, his hobby of comic book collecting. I knew a guy like that. Or something else completely foreign to you. And you let him know that it's okay with you, things will start to flow and a real connection can build. If you tend to reject a man really quickly based on superficial qualities or some small thing that can be overlooked, think about how you would feel if you went out on a date and a guy rejected you because he just didn't like the dress that you were wearing, or he thought you weren't interesting enough based only on that first impression. You'd think he was making a big mistake. And the truth is, he would be making a mistake. But so are you if you reject a guy for any similarly small reasons. See, when we turn the tables on ourselves, it's not that hard. It's about giving someone a chance, holding off judgment until you've actually had a chance to get to know him beyond more than just that initial impression. Getting to know who someone really is and what they're really like, how he treats you. You're expecting him to get to know the real you, so isn't it time you give him the same chance? What do you think? Have you really given all the available men you've met a fair chance? Or have you dismissed some because of surface reasons too, like an unusual hobby, lack of a full head of hair, that's a big one, or initial awkwardness? Or have you ever been dismissed in a similar way? Let me know what your challenges are here. And if you know of someone else that might get something out of this video, please pass it along to them. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.